time for us to do event number 4. In every scene, right, the ship must reach land sooner or later. So that's going to be our next event. Let's create an event that will allow us to show the ship arriving to some town or some village. I've taken the liberty of creating the tiles sheets. We'll import it as well. Back to characters. All right, I've brought this the sprite sheets in, and we'll create our event. Similar to the ship that didn't move for a while, same thing will be done with the land itself. The way you got to think about it is, you have one scene. At the beginning, you don't want to see the land, but after a certain period of time, it will show up. And if you want to, you will make it move. So that means that for this particular event, you're gonna need at least 2 pages. The first page for when it's invisible, and the second page is for when you can actually see it and it's probably moving. So let's set that up first. First page, it's invisible. It's invisible, you can't see it, but it has to be invisible for a certain period of time. So let's play around with the time. We'll do 900 frames for now. And then we'll say after 900 frames, switch to selfish A. But another, for this to actually get executed, change the trigger to parallel. So it's actually being processed as part of the entire scene. Similar to all the other events, let's make that through. We'll change the name. All right, perfect. Now we'll set up the second page. We don't need to copy anything here because obviously there's not that much on this page. So we'll just add a new page. We'll turn the cell switch A on. We will bring in our image. Walk is on, through is on as usual. Then we'll customize the motion. Similar to how the ship was moving up, we'll have the land itself moving down. Move down twice. And to stop it from moving, because we don't want it to actually collide with the ship, so we're not going to leave repeat movements. We're going to have it move for a certain period of time and then stop. But the ship itself will continue to come towards. So by having the 2 different motions moving to one another, it creates a scene where it seems like everything is moving towards the land itself. And the speed of this will make it go really, really slow. And make it the lowest frequency because it's a mass of land, so it's not moving very, very fast. And also we'll put it below the character just in case the ship actually gets to it. The ship can look like it's actually coming to shore. The last part of this will be what happens once the ship actually get to the land. And for this particular scene, we'll do a little, it's kind of like a cutscene. The moment the ship gets there, you will be transferred to the second map. And this map is another scene in itself. So for that, you also will need to have a certain number of frames that the animation will need to wait for before it allows the player to transfer to the next map. Last time I did 900, I'm gonna do 760 this time. And then I'll say, after the 760 frames, I want you to fade out the screen. Remember how I like to use the black screen? This is similar. I fade the screen out. After it fades out, give me another 30 frames and then transfer the player. I need to create one more map. So let's hold off on this step. And let's create our next map. We'll call this map Land Home. And we'll say ship arrived. Okay, we'll leave it overworld. And for this map, we're gonna set that up as well. We're gonna quickly set up this map just so we can get a feel for what it looks like. So similar to the other one, we'll dump that there, but there's actual land here, unlike before. So we'll create, oops, we don't wanna do that. We'll actually create land itself. That's the first part of the map. So I'll work on the map more than that. We just need a specific map to allow us to transfer. Okay, we'll go back to our first map and try to finish this event now. Now that we actually have a second map, we can now say we want to transfer the player to Land Home. Yeah, right now, 712. That'll work for now. And that is set on parallel. All that is already set up. One last check to make sure that our ship is going at the appropriate speed. Because like I said, you are setting up a scene. So because you are setting up a scene, you want to make sure that everything works as expected. So page 1, I probably want to make it move a little bit slower at a higher frequency. Page 2, same thing, slower, but at the highest frequency. Okay. That's good. And then last thing, check the bird. I know, gotta check the bird. Same thing with the bird, the slowest speed at the highest frequency. And then we have the final event that we need to set up to complete this map for the first scene. Let's go ahead and set that up. The sound is going to need to be constant, so it has to be parallel. It doesn't need to move because, like I said, it's sound. It's not an actual event that you're going to move. So we'll put in a background sound. And you don't want it to be too loud because obviously you want the character to be focused on just enjoying the scene. So at a volume of 20 with normal regular pitch should work. Let's test it to make sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Perfect. That sounds good. That will allow you to hear the scene, the actual waves and the current that's moving around. And you can set that up as wave sound. Save it. And now we're ready to go ahead and test this scene to see how it works. Let's transfer our player to the scene. We save the game, and now we do our first testing of map 1. Let's see. You see it, guys? Bird is moving, the ship starts to move. The bird does have the random, so it allows it to change its position. Keep it moving straight forward. The clouds, as you can tell, give you a better scenery because they're changing constantly. And then you reach land, at least you see the land. The ship gets closer and closer to the land. And now you transition to the next scene. As you can tell, guys, everything worked almost perfectly fine until you moved to the second map and it was a dark screen. Why is that? Well, I thought about it. It's because if you remember in the first map, I fade out the screen, but I never put fade in back in the second map. So therefore, when the screen went dark, the entire scene stayed dark, even though the ship arrived. That was part of the problem. So let's go ahead and fix that up, add that really quick. We'll add an event. Just to simplify this, we'll put the event as parallel. We're gonna put fade in screen. And just to make sure that we add one more item here, I'm gonna make sure that you can't see the player on the screen like you did on the first try. I'm gonna change it in 2 locations. Change transparency on here. And just for fun, I'm gonna add it in here as well. I will put it in with this one. Change transparency of the player on. All right, let's try it again to see if it works. We save and we test. Notice this time you did not see the player on the screen. Everything is moving. Bird is doing its thing. Ship is moving straight forward towards land or shore. The land shows up, stops motion, or movement. The ship gets closer and closer, appears to arrive, and you go to your seat. Perfect. That's it, guys. I hope you see how the first map was created, how the events were added on the screen, and how by incorporating all those different components, you were able to create your first scene for the video game. Going forward, I'm not gonna take the time of showing you every single map. I will go ahead and continue to move much quicker in the game, setting different components, and each video from here on out will be me taking you through and explaining the different parts that I've made in the videos. For the first two, I just want to show the step-by-step approach of what I did. But going forward, just to save you some time, I will show you the scenes and basically kind of do an overview of what's actually done in video. Thanks guys for listening. Hopefully this was enjoyable. Hopefully this helped you in any way with the game that you're working on. And you know what to do, guys. Enjoy it. Keep making these games. If you like this video, please leave a comment and subscribe below for future content.